Hey there, you found Off the Water, the premier kayak fishing show for the Gulf Coast. We interview the best anglers to find out what they did, where they went, and what they used. Fishing reports, cool products and accessories, upcoming kayak tournaments, kayak safety, rigging tips and tricks, sponsor highlights, club member specials, and more, all on Off the Water, live and podcast. And now, here's your host of Off the Water, Mr. Sean Rastanis.
Hey guys, it's Darth Yacker. What a day. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me okay. If you're in the green room, give me a head nod. Okay, great. Thanks, Austin. Wow, what a day. What a tournament. This was way better than what we anticipated. We were hoping to get 50 plus. We ended up with 75 people that signed up for Dawn to Dusk. Needless to say, I think it was a huge success. Heard from a lot of people. They really enjoyed the format, the fact that you didn't really have to have a slam to win. Although most of the winners obviously had 3 fish, fishing anywhere. I mean, we had people all the way east to all the way west to all the way south. There were even rumors of people fishing Bayou Lacombe. So I don't know how they did, but we're going to find out. I mean, what a tournament. We had so many lead changes. We had some sandbagging going on. We had some gamesmanship. We had ties. You're not going to believe this, but the top 5 are separated by like a half an inch. It's incredible. I can't wait to reveal it. We had a couple of ties at the top, we're going to discuss the tiebreaker there. We've got a lot of great awards. We've got the 15 people qualifying. We got big fish. We had some really nice trout caught. A lot of flounder caught too. We've got the small fish awards, which are great. That was somebody in the I forget which officer had, I don't know if it was Austin or somebody had a great idea about, hey, let's throw in a new Bayou Coast t-shirt for these guys that catch the smallest fish for free. So that worked out well. So we got a lot to cover today. We're going to try to get to it because I know everybody's anxious to hear who won, where they fished, what happened. For those people that fished this weekend, it was a great opportunity to tie this tournament in with the Massey's Fish Picks tournament, which we had a lot of people enter those big trout, those flounder that they caught, and those big redfish in the Massey's tournament. Also, Star started this weekend, and we may have one person who may have already hopefully taken the Star opening day who fished this tournament. He's not going to join us today. He said a little shy, but he gave me the details, and he said I could share it with you guys. All right, so let's add some people in here. I know we got Austin here. We'll put him in the stream. Hi, Austin. How you doing?
Going on, y'all?
Good. And who else I got down here? Who's that? All right, that's Benton over there. Okay, I see Benton. We're going to get to you guys in a minute. So the first thing we are going to get to right away is let's talk about the Small Fish Awards. And to do that, we will bring in Mr. Josh Redd to talk to us a little bit about his day. Hey, Josh, how you doing?
All right, and y'all?
Good. So, Austin, whose idea was it for this Small Fish Award? I thought it was a great idea.
So originally, it was Chris Landry that brought up a Small Fish Award, and then throughout the board, we made a couple changes and stuff, and ended up by Chris's idea completely.
Yeah. So the idea was for people out there just to give them a little bit of something. If they caught a small fish, they could submit it on the leaderboard, and they would win one of the brand new Bayou Coast performance hooded shirts, $30 value. Those are some really, really good looking shirts. So first up, before we get to Josh, we've got the small red at 7.75 inches. As a matter of fact, the board only starts counting at 8 inches. We kind of had to guess about what that redfish size was. Appeared to be about 7.75. So Kyle Traylor, 7.75, wins the small red category and gets himself a new Bayou Coast t-shirt. All right. Not to be outdone, Mr. Eddie Tier. Eddie Tier finally is going to hear his name called on the big screen, is taking home a Bayou Coast t-shirt with a small trout of 9.75 inches.
And it was the right identifier, too. So
yes, he's the right identifier. He got that trout on there. Obviously, he couldn't keep it, but he measured it, submitted it, took the time. Eddie, you're taking home a Bayou Coast t-shirt. Congratulations. Last up, actually not a bad flounder, 10.75 inches won the small flounder of the day, Mr. Josh Red.
Really?
Josh, tell me, when you caught that flounder, did you think this is it? I've got the small flounder award. I mean, this is what I was aiming for today?
No, not at all. I didn't think that was a chance because, I mean, I've caught small ones before, but I didn't think I had a chance. And I caught a 10-inch redfish on Friday, and I thought I was caught that one a day early. That flounder, it was just my first one, and I was just happy to get one at that point. I really didn't think I would be small flounder.
And actually, this morning when I was scrolling through and finding these small fish, when I came across yours being a small, I was like, this seems like a big flounder to be the smallest one.
It does. It does.
But I double checked everything.
If it hadn't been my first flounder, I wouldn't have submitted it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I would have never taken a picture of it.
How many flounder did you catch?
5.
5 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You were at Big Lake, huh? I mean, Lake Charles. Yeah.
I slowly worked. I did the one the 10.75. I did one that was right after that. I had a 12-inch one, 14-inch, 15-inch, and then another 15-inch. They slowly got bigger.
Yeah. So I mean, there were so many flounders out at Lake Charles. I never get to fish that area, but it seemed like everybody that was out there caught a flounder. I caught 3 Saturday. I caught a 19.5 on Friday. It was a day early. But, boy, it sure was pretty getting out there and catching flounder. Matter of fact, I didn't catch any trout, but flounder was not a problem. It seems they were everywhere. So how was the rest of your day? You caught some fish?
Yeah, I caught we were sitting there, got a trout first thing in the morning, and then went off. I figured if I could get at least one on the board, and then I would try to find a bigger one. But that wind was a little intense yesterday morning, so it made it a little rough. So then I started fishing for flounder a little bit, and then went into marsh and looked for redfish and caught 17-inch redfish, 17-inch redfish. Finally caught 2 that were 23.5, and then figured I'd go back to trying to catch flounder at that point while the tide was still moving a little bit. And I caught a few more. I caught some trout right in my flounder spot. And I upgraded my trout by 1/4 of an inch, and then started catching a few flounder in my spot. And then I literally tried to catch a bigger redfish from about 1:30, 2 o'clock until 6:30. And I could not find a bigger redfish.
It's crazy. I heard the same thing. A lot of people that fish south, that went out of West Cove and areas like that, they were telling me how windy it was. I launched out of Spicers. And I mean to tell you, it was gorgeous the whole time. I had a little light ripple. The wind was blowing. The weather was nice. It was one of those days where I think I ended up picking up close to 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. And I said, I could literally fish all day. It was such a beautiful day. I didn't have any issues with the waves. I don't know if it was the area or what it was about that particular.
Well, it was a northeast wind. And if you're in West Cove, a northeast wind gets rough. There's no protection out in the West Cove area. I talked to some guy at some point. I don't think he was in the tournament. He may have been. I'm not sure. He said, I think he had gone down the canal first thing in the morning in a little aluminum boat, went out and turned right back around and came back in and told him, don't go out there. It's too rough. But, I mean, we went out there. We made it. Boy, not the scariest place I've ever been.
No. Toledo Bend, February, 3-foot caps. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on the beach before when I shouldn't. I'm okay.
Yeah. Well, look, we're gonna put you back in the blue room, but hang around if you want to chat. Maybe you'll hear your name called again.
All right, sounds good.
Who knows? We'll see you a little bit. Let's see. Let me move you there. I'm gonna bring in El Presidente, add him to the stream. Mr. Jonathan Carter, how you doing, sir?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
El Jefe.
Good. So we just went through the Small Fish Awards. I think it's appropriate now that we go to the Big Fish Awards. We had 57 people up to 75 sign up for mule trout. We had 52 people sign up for saddle flounder. So some really good turnouts there. So since we have you on here, Mr. Carter, the award for big flounder, not the biggest caught over the weekend. You were a couple inches shy of one on Friday, typical. 18 inches was enough to take it on Saturday, winning a cool check for $285 with the big flounder.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Now you went out Friday and just completely skunked. How did you turn it around on Saturday? What did you do differently?
Well, in pre-fishing, I like to try to swing for the fences, and a lot of times that puts me in places where I typically don't really need to be or want to be. So I went and checked out a couple spots that were I definitely should not have been there, and I figured that out pretty quickly. But I was a long ways away from the launch, so I basically spent my morning just pedaling around, didn't catch anything, and then I had to do some work on Friday after that. So just hung out at the house, got the work knocked out, and then just said, you know what, I'm going to go fish West Cove with everybody else on Saturday.
Yeah. Now, when you caught that flounder, you hadn't been thinking, finally, this is what I wanted.
I thought it was a good start to the day, if nothing else. I'd fished for a little while. I caught a little trout right before that. I was like, okay, that's not too terrible. Like Josh was saying a minute ago, I was not expecting the weather to be like it was at West Cove. It was crazy windy with everything coming straight across the whole open water. I'd never been there before, so I tried to take things pretty slow just to be on the safe side, and just started jigging around. I mean, I wanted a flounder. That's what I was there for, and caught one that was 15 something. And then almost immediately after that, caught one that was 18. I said, all right, time to go for a redfish. And I spent the whole rest of my day fishing for redfish, only to catch an 8.5 incher at one point, and then upgraded to a 16 a little bit after that. But just couldn't find the big ones.
Now, I know that your wife, Katie, is a huge fan of stuffed flounder. So when you caught that 18-inch flounder, I know the first thing in your mind was thinking, I'm gonna take this thing home. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to stuff it. I got my picture. And so she must be really looking forward to eating that 18-inch flounder you caught.
Yeah, I got your 19.5-inch flounder in the fridge right now. Yeah, so I had a little mishap with the 18-inch flounder. Matt Dearman was right next to me, and he saw the whole thing happen. It was pretty funny. There was a boat fishing right next to us, and they saw me catch the first flounder, and they were casting all around. I mean, like to the point where at one point our lines were touching each other. So there was a lot of people in this one little area. And I was like, man, all right, I'm just going to start working my way out of here. I caught that 18, got the pictures, got my Massey's card, got the pictures taken for that, got that submitted. So I was feeling pretty good. I wasn't really paying a whole bunch of attention. And I went to go put the flounder in my ice chest behind me, or my little Columbia ice bag. First mistake was I didn't open the bag all the way. I also had a lot of food and drinks prepared for the day because I knew it was going to be a long day. So I didn't want to get the fish on the same side as all the food and drinks and stuff. So I was trying to be careful. And then I put the flounder in tail first, and it freaked out as soon as it touched the ice, and it shot right back out of my ice bag, landed in the water and kind of fluttered there for a second next to me. And I tried to grab it out of the water, but I was not fast enough, and it took
first time.
You do not have those ninja-like reflexes like Francis Tran.
No, I'm not quick.
So thank God it was a CPR or CPS where you took the picture, was already submitted, because that would have cost you a lot of money if it was Paddlepalooza or Fallen Tide.
Oh, if it was a keep tournament, that fish would have had multiple retaining devices on it before it went in the bag for sure.
All right, well, good deal. Well, look, I know we got a lot of other people to cover, and no one wants to hear us talk all day. So let's do this. We've got the big fish covered. We got the small fish covered. I didn't big trout.
Yeah,
Holy crap! Big trout.
I want to hear about this.
Daniel Rogers, big trout, 23.25-inch trout. He's taking home a check for $285. That's a beautiful trout. Austin, it went 4.7 pounds?
4.70 at the store.
4.70 pounds. I think he's also entered in Star. I invited Daniel to come on. He said he was a little shy about it. He did say that I was more than welcome to share his story on here. So Daniel was actually fishing. What he told me was behind Elmer's Island, and he was using a minnow. And he caught that big trout behind Elmer's Island on a minnow. And from what I understand, he was really excited about it. Of course, who's not going to be really excited when you bring in almost a 5-pound trout on tournament day, opening day of Star? That's quite an accomplishment. So congratulations to Daniel. He's taking home a check for $285. Okay.
That'll be a contender for star overall too, because I think Robert Burkhart won it last year or 2 years ago, and 2 years ago, and I can't remember what his fish weighed, but I don't think it was near that much. I was maybe 3 pounds or something.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to the overall winners. Now, again, we had 75 people enter. I think we had 177 fish submitted. What I was told was that we had
one speckled trout glide bait.
Yeah, one speckled trout glide bait. And I think 22 slams were caught. Is that right?
22, yes.
22 slams were caught. So
22.
Almost a third of the people who fished the tournament caught a slam, which is really good, really good. We haven't had 22 slams caught at a Paddlepalooza or Fallen Tide, and I can't tell you how long. So that was, especially with only 75 people. So that's a really good turnout. So let's go to the top 15. Oh, I forgot to put the big fish winners. I've got that going. So the top 15 we've got is at 15 inches. I'm sorry, 15th place. Mr. Chris Cox, 49.5 inches. I know Chris was sweating this one out. He was worried. He did have a slam. He was in the lead for a lot of the day. Then the lights went out and the standings were turned off and the sandbaggers came out. And then people fished till dusk. So a lot of things changed. So, Chris, congratulations. You qualified for the championship. I know you're going to be excited about that. 14th place at 50.25 inch, Mr. Doug Menifee. So, Doug, I think you may have qualified already, but you're in if you didn't. 13th place at 50.25 inches, Mr. Jack Hickman. Now, Jack didn't even have a flounder. So he took 13th place with 2 fish only. He had a 30-inch red and I think a 20.25-inch trout. So I'm going by memory, but I think that's what it was. 12th place.
It's crazy because that's the first 2 fish he's caught in a tournament this year.
Yeah.
I love you, Jack.
Oh, man. That one hurts. That one hurts. We love you, Jack. But, hey, Jack's in the championship now, so I know he's going to be happy about that. 12th place, Ryan Alamon, 50.5 inches. 11th place, Mr. Steve Neese, 53.75 inches. There you go right there. We've got the bottom 5 of our top 15, 15th through 11th place. I could scroll this thing, but I guess not. Anyways, so that's how that's playing out. All right, let's move it on now to the top 10. 10th place, we have at 55 inches, Mr. Josh Red. We just spoke to Josh earlier. Josh, there's your name being called again. 9th place. This guy will sit on a spot for hours just waiting for a flounder to come by, and somehow he always seems to catch him. 56 inches, Mr. Travis Hull. Another good showing by Mr. Hull.
I know he fished hard all day.
Very hard, and he had no service, and it took forever for him to get through Tourney X, but one hell of a bag, Travis.
Yeah. And I tell you, what's interesting, we had people fishing like Charles leave there, go down to Cocodrie. I heard some people were in Grand Isle, all up and down Grand Isle on LA1. So people really took advantage of the fact that you can fish multiple locations and that you had a 14-hour fishing day, which was crazy long. But, hey, you didn't have to fish the whole day. You could take a nap. It worked out well for a lot of people. All right, 8th place, coming all the way in from Alabama, Mr. Benny Gaines at 56.5 inches. All right, Mr. Gaines, congratulations. Hope you remember the club and you're making it here to the championship. All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. This tournament paid out top 5 places. We were 1 spot from top 6. We needed 1 more person to register. 76 would have put us at top 6. Didn't get it, which means the top 5 had some really good payouts. Number 7, Mr. Jeff Robinson, 56.5 inches. Congratulations, Jeff. Number 6, just out the money, Mr. Johnny Bergeron, 57.25 inches. All right, now we're going to get into
Johnny fish his ass off as well.
We're going to get into the top 5 here. So just so you understand what was at stake here, the top 4 were separated by 1/2 inch. the top 4 were separated by a half of an inch. And even 5th place wasn't too far back. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in Mr. 5th place. He came in. He drives in all the way from Texas to fish a lot of our tournaments. And so I really feel good the fact that hopefully he got to stay a little bit closer to home this time. 5th place, taking home a check for $200 is Mr. Cody Drago. Let's see if we get Cody on. Hey, Cody, how you doing? Can you hear us?
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, absolutely. How you doing, man?
Good, good.
So congratulations. You took 5th place, $200. Hopefully you stayed a little bit closer to Texas for this tournament.
Yeah, luckily, I think I drove 2 hours from my house for this one. Normally it's like 7 or 8.
7
hours.
or 8.
Yeah.
So you got to drive in 2 hours, fish, not even have to go to the award ceremony, and then go back home. So an easy day for you overall.
Yeah, I woke up in the morning, fished the tournament, and came home. Slept in my bed.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We had
Over
a
in
4-hour
Houston.
drive, I think. So tell us a little bit about your day. You fished the Big Lake area, obviously. I'm assuming.
Fished Lake Charles, Big Lake area. I've never fished there before, ever. And so found a place that said it was decent online. Thought, hey, maybe there'd be like a couple people there. Turns out, I guess half the club was there. It was like a parking lot out there. Super wavy, windy. Like you were saying earlier, the cove kind of picks up. The kayak was more like a submarine than a kayak today. And got a trout real early off the morning. Ended up picking up my flounder back in the marsh. And then had a 9-inch redfish for pretty much the rest of the day, right up until like 7:35. And then got a 44-inch red.
Holy crap.
Yeah, right at the end.
Wow.
Third to last fish submitted, actually.
Wow. So you fished it to the end, to the bitter end. You were like,
oh, yeah. Yep.
I'm in it to win it. Well, 44 inches is huge, man. And so obviously, you qualified if you're, in the top 15, if you're a member of the club. And I know you fish a lot of our tournaments. I'm glad when I saw your name in the top 5, I was like, oh, that made me feel good. Cody was in it. I know he was close to home. So I'm sure you felt really good about like, man, I get to fish close to home for this one.
Yeah, I will say the long hours was a lot with the temperature.
Yeah.
But fishing close to home made it worth it. Like being able to fish the Lake Charles area. I mean, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Versus fishing.
I just have one question. Whenever you hooked that big red with about 20 minutes, 25 minutes left, did you see it tailing, or was it a blind cast, or did you just?
Oh, no. I mean, I was fishing an area where I had a pretty good feeling that they'd be, but it was just loaded with gaff tops. Like I couldn't stop catching gaff tops, and I probably caught 25 gaff tops in a row. And I was like just about to throw in the towel because I was tired of catching these gaff tops and alligator gars. And then it hit, and it was a blind cast just in some current around some rocks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when he started running, you were like, oh, this ain't a gaff top.
Well, yeah, it took off, and then almost right away it came up to the top, and I saw it like basically its back up out of the water, pulling hard. And then I was like, oh boy, here we go.
It was one beautiful, beautiful fish for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Cody, thanks a lot for joining us. Look forward to seeing you at the next tournament. I'm sure you'll be down for the championship. I know. All right. 4th place, half an inch out of 1st place. I'll let him give you the details of what his day was. So he ended up with 62.5 inches. No stranger to the stage, Mr. Steve Lassard. Hey, Steve, how are you doing?
There you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing great.
I know you were close. Did you end up finishing the day trying for that bigger trout?
No, I called it.
You called it?
Yeah, I was trying to get in, get it done, and head back. Qualifying was the number one goal. I knew that I had a decent stringer, but I really felt like I needed 2 to 3 more hours, maybe 4 more hours to wait on that, get towards that low tide, and before I really had a shot at a trout. So it was hot, boats everywhere, and I said, I need to go. I had other stuff I really needed to get to, so I said, I'm gonna call it. So at 2 o'clock, I was packed up, rolling home.
So can you tell us a little bit about your day, if you don't mind, where you fished, what you fished with, whatever details you wanted to share?
Yeah, sure. I started out on the island, Grand Isle. I decided not to do too many spot hops. The first area that I was gonna go was more, go for the gusto, and I just kind of looked at maybe some beach fishing spots and all, but it was blown out. Too much groundswell, too many waves from the day before. It just didn't think it was gonna work. And then you get over there, and the marinas are just packed with people going snapper fishing, and it was chaos. It's, you know what? I'm just gonna fall back on the old kayak spot behind the island, and went back there to the wildlife and fisheries spot, and me and another recreational guy was back there just having fun, and that was it. I was basically by myself. So I just took off, went out there fishing around, the reef and all that stuff. Found a spot with some trout, and it took longer than I thought to find some active trout. But when I found them, I started blasting them as fast as I could, going through my whole series of baits, going through the progression, some different top waters, some different sounds, some different size baits, some jerk baits, all kind of things. And I just couldn't upgrade. This boat comes in, and then that shut everything down. So after that, I started moving around, but I didn't want to waste too much time because I wanted to get to my flounder before the tide turned. So everything worked out. I got to my flounder spot, and by the time I moved and got there, it was ready. Tide was just about to turn around. It took me about an hour, and that was it. I got a really nice flounder, and it was off to red fishing, at the hottest part of the day. So that was the kind of the sucky part, was going red fishing, later in the day. It's hot, and red fishing is it's more physical, I think, than some of the other stuff. Either you're paddling, you're push poling, or you're chunking big popping course or whatever. And so that's what we were in for in the middle part of the day.
Well, Steve, you're taking home a check for $350. Congratulations. How did you like the format for the tournament with fish anywhere, all day? Just kind of a little something different. What'd you think?
Yeah, I pretty much hated it. If it would have ended at 2 o'clock, it would have been great. I'd be in a lot better position.
He's honest. He's honest.
Yeah, I was about to say, at least he's honest.
At least he's honest.
No, it's fine.
The idea was that we'd have people spending the night and, hopefully fishing. I think I learned a lesson. I think hopefully Jonathan learned a lesson. I suggested that we stay Saturday night as well, so we could fish in the evening. But he's, we're going to fish till 8 and drive home 4 hours after we've been fishing for 14 hours. I was like, okay, that's going to happen. So anyway, well, Steve, thanks a lot for coming on.
Okay.
I'm sure the club will be PayPaling you or whatever, $350. So,
all right. Thanks.
Again, half an inch out of first place. I know that's tight. That is tough. So let's go on now to the top 3. And the top 3 were separated by a quarter inch. A quarter inch separated the top 3, which means we had a tie.
Yep.
In the top 3. So number 3, Mr. Daniel Rogers at 62.75 inches. He lost the tiebreaker with the gentleman who finished in second. It goes by big fish, and I think Daniel's red was smaller than our second place winner. But Daniel, the good news is You already took home a check for $285 for mule trout, and now you're taking home a check for $450 for finishing in third place.
A beautiful day.
So that's $735 you're taking home, and also you're getting this beautiful Dawn to Dusk plaque. So that is wonderful. So congratulations. That's a hell of a fishing day. $735 from this tournament, not to mention what he might be winning in the Star Tournament. So that's a great day in my book for him. So we're going to go to our second place winner. He came in all the way from Florida to be with us, to join us. He managed to use the right measuring board this time, and we'll be taking home a check for $550 at 62.75 inches, Mr. Benton Parrott. Let's bring him on. Hey, Benton, how are you doing?
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good.
I'm good. Driving
home?
through New Orleans right now.
Nice.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
don't get in a wreck. Don't get in a wreck.
You want to swing by and pick up your plaque?
Where you at? I might.
Out in Gentilly, next to City Park.
I don't know where that's at. I'll have to catch it next time.
Yeah, you don't want the drive-bys and everything. You want to stay out that neighborhood. You know.
Come on, that's not.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
So, Benton, where did you fish? What'd you do?
I knew it was Memorial Day weekend, and we kicked around a few spots where we wanted to go. We knew a bunch of people were going over to Big Lake. Grand Isle, there's really no place to stay, and I'm comfortable fishing the Venice area. It's close to home. I figured there wouldn't be many people down there, and sure enough, I launched with Benny Gaines and Steve Neese, and it was only us all day. I mean, we ran into the occasional boat. The bite was tough for a while. The trout were not where I expected them to be. I had to really work for it. I lost a stud trout, which always happens. He wrapped me around a pole and cut my line.
Oh,
But he's swimming around with the top water somewhere. What's that?
I just said, ooh.
Still there?
Yeah, we're here. Can you hear us, Ben?
I think we're having technical difficulties here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. All right, we'll try to
Sorry
get
about that.
Yeah, can you hear us now?
And I lost you again.
All right. Well, we'll get right back to you. Just wait till you get in a better area. But so everybody knows, Benton was fishing on the Highway 23 area. He had a 29-inch redfish, a 19-inch trout, a 14 3/4-inch flounder. He said he was fishing with Benny Gaines and Steve Neese. Benny finished in 8th. Steve finished in 11th. They all caught slams. I'll be damned. I had no idea Highway 23 in late May was going to produce fish like that. That really surprised me. So we went
I
all
caught
the way.
big redfish the entire day.
Yeah, you had that 29, right?
Damn it. I don't know what's
Okay.
That is correct. I quit trout fishing and just started working the bank.
Yeah, still an awesome day. You're taking home a check for $550. Congratulations. Hopefully we'll see you down here for Fallen Tide. Okay, so let's.
Yeah, and this will be my first championship, so pretty happy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, really?
That's awesome. Yeah, Cocodrie, here it
First
is.
time I've ever qualified for a championship, so I'm never get to go.
Well, you're going to get to go this year. This is a good payout. It's a lot of fun. Well, we'll see you down there, and hopefully we'll see you down in LA1 for Fallen Tide, Benton. All right, so let's move on to our winner. He had a total of 63 inches. He went into the cutoff with 63 inches, knowing that there were sandbaggers out there and not knowing until today whether he won or not. He literally won this thing by 1/4 of an inch between second and third place, 1/2 an inch over fourth. Really not a surprise. I think I know where he fished, so we're going to find out. Mr. Danny Campagno. Let's bring him on. Hey, Danny, how are you doing?
Hello, Danny.
Congrats.
Thank you. I'm actually still in Chalmette. I got up and went back this morning. That's fishing right there at the dam at Hopedale. It's incredible this time of year.
It can be really hit or miss, though, right?
It sometimes it really, with 14 hours of fishing, you're gonna have to. There'll be lulls, but man, when they turn on and you're there, it's awesome. I caught 5 trout between 20 and 21 inches yesterday.
Wow.
I could not break that. Every time I'd hook into one, it was oh, this is going to be my upgrade, and put them on the board, and they'd be right at 21 inches, and just couldn't break that. But it was awesome. It was a good day.
You were using live croaker?
No. I actually brought a rod and reel, and I bought dead shrimp because I like to catch my own croakers and pinfish. And I did that, and the only thing I caught a black tip shark. I never did catch anything on the live bait. I caught everything on a mega matrix shad.
Really?
And not the flounder. I actually caught. I was throwing the matrix over some rocks, and when I brought it over, I saw a flounder chase it, and it couldn't grab that big of a bait. So I just reached back and grabbed a Berkeley gulp and pitched right back to it, and I caught one and put it on the board and took my pictures, and I was just thrilled to death to have the slam, especially at Hopedale is not known for flounders. My very next cast, I caught one an inch bigger in the exact same spot. So that's like a Hopedale miracle. That will never happen again. So,
and I actually remember when that came in, we got your first flounder. I was like, he's looking good, and then 5 minutes later, another flounder's coming in. That's even bigger.
It was crazy. Yeah, I don't even have words for that, because just to have this, I was worried about going to Hopedale because of the flounder. I thought, okay, well, if I can go catch a 25-inch trout and a 30-inch red, I can stand a shot. But man, to catch 2 flounders back to back, like I said, that'll never happen again at Hopedale. So.
Did you? I know when you found a flounder hole, typically you like to pound it and get all of them out there, especially the day before tournament.
Yeah, I didn't leave that spot for about 45 minutes just trying. I never did get another one, but I left to go try to upgrade my redfish, because I've caught hundreds of redfish at 30 inches. The problem at the dam is that they're all over 27. I caught 8 redfish yesterday that were almost on a like perfect 27-inch redfish that I would have loved to have for any redfish slot tournament. But
for any slot tournament,
always bulls, and the one time you want a bull.
But I caught everything that I measured at about 11:15. I did not catch another upgrade in 9 more hours of fishing.
Well, I tell you, the great thing about this tournament is we had people spread out all through the state, and we had slams caught at Hopedale, slams caught down Highway 23, slams caught at Grand Isle, slams caught at Big Lake. I really am shocked. I figured the 2 areas would have been Grand Isle and Lake Charles, but you proved me wrong at Hopedale, and certainly those guys out 23 really surprised me. They were to catch some nice trout. We had some really nice trout caught yesterday. Yeah. I mean, you caught plenty over 20. We had a number. I know Jack caught one at 20, and Benton had a 19, and he lost a bigger one. So, I mean, what a phenomenal day out there. Did you end up fishing the entire day, Danny?
Oh, yeah. From 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock. In fact, the last 30 minutes was the most incredible topwater bite I've ever had at Hopedale. And people around me looking at me like I was crazy, shaking off 17 and 18-inch trout. And I got blow up after blow up for 30 straight minutes. I just could not. I'd catch one and put them on the board, and it'd be 19 and a half. And it's like, I just throw them back and make another cast. I could not catch a bigger one. But
see, Jonathan, I should have driven back, went to the Hopedale Dam, like you said, thrown into the water. I had plenty of time. All I needed was one trout.
I told Jonathan 2 days before the tournament, I bet you the winning bag comes out of Hopedale.
You know, if I would have caught one of those 19-inch trouts, I would have had exactly 64 inches, and that would have put me in first. That's all I needed, but I was too lazy.
I tried to tell you.
People there was Andrew Hodgson and his wife, which is it's no surprise. He lives at that dam during the Star Tournament. I turned the corner at 6 a.m. because I like to fish from the corner to the dam. And I could see them. They had already gotten to the dam and crossed over the other side by 6 o'clock. So I watched Andrew net and lose a 24-inch trout. He had about a softball size hole in his net, and when he reached down and netted it, that fish charged and went through the net, broke his line, and went and swam away. But it was every bit of 5 pounds.
Wow.
It was a solid trout, and his wife had some good ones. She had 18, I believe she had. I mean, there was some good trout caught. That dam this time of year is hard to beat.
Sounds like we're gonna have to make another trip over there, Jonathan Carter.
How was the fishing today?
Today was good. I actually lost a giant one, first thing this morning.
We lost him. Look, guys, I know we're dragging on a little bit. We'll get Danny on. Maybe we'll do a whole show with Danny teaching us how to fish the Hopedale Dam. I think that'd be a great show. I know I'd be interested in. So, look, there was one more category. It was an unannounced category that was brought up, and essentially there was an over-under placed on this tournament.
Oh, here we go.
Over-under as to what the winning size would be. Having been tournament director for about 5 or 6 years now, I got a pretty good feel for what a winning stringer will be in a tournament like this. Some people assume that everyone's going to catch a 30-inch redfish, a 20-inch trout, and a 20-inch flounder. It's going to be like the miracle of miracles, and multiple people are going to do it. So the over-under was set at 64.05 inches. 0.05 was meaning that 64 would have been for the under. So the bet was $50. Me and Jonathan Carter. And as we know, the winning length was 63 inches. Although he prayed that Danny was going to upgrade his trout at some point or his redfish.
I was rooting for Danny all day.
He just knew with 8 hours left of the day that Danny was going to increase that redfish size, and he's going to win with 65, 66 inches.
I thought for sure Danny was going to get an upgrade. I was like, it's in the bag. I was driving home. I said, I can't wait to get Sean's $50 in my pocket.
I was more worried about Steve. I talked to him, and I thought he was going to go out and catch that 18-inch trout in the afternoon bite and overtake Danny and slip into to first place there. All he needed was a half an inch. And actually, one more inch and a quarter does me in. But instead, I come away on tournament day feeling, vindicated that I won my $50. I was right. Jonathan was wrong. So
and
I'll take that to the bank all day long.
As well.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out. It was Memorial Day weekend. I don't know if I knew it was Memorial Day weekend when we scheduled it. I found out later, but at that point it was like, oh, well. We had a great turnout. I think it went well. Everybody's got 2 days to recover now from this 14-hour epic long fishing day. I've heard a number of people want to make this an annual tradition, so certainly something the officers will talk about. I think it's a great tournament for people to come in out of state. You can fish anywhere you want. We get people from Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi. I really think we get over 100 people next year if we really market this thing right. But anyway, thanks to the winners. And Danny, I don't know if you knew it, if you heard it, but $700 is what you're winning for first place. So congratulations to Danny, to Steve, to Benton, to Cody, and to Daniel Rogers, and also to Jonathan for the big flounder. All the other winners, all the people that fished hard. Chris Cox, 15th place. You squeezed in there, man. So congratulations to you. Everybody that qualified for the championship. All right, so we're gonna sign off now. Danny, if you didn't hear, you won $700. So congratulations. They're gonna get the money to you. That's it. Thank you all for joining us today. Next Bayou Coast tournament is going to be Falling Tide, actually early October. And then you have one more shot to qualify for the championship. That's going to be Trout Challenge late October, and that's also going to be down to LA1, then the championship in November in Cocotree. So, all right, guys, thanks for signing on. Steve, Austin, thank you and Tyler for judging yesterday. I know it was a long day judging. Thank you guys for doing that. Cody, thanks for coming on. Benton, thanks for coming on. And we will see y'all next time. All right, guys, thanks.